For anyone, channel may already be going viral on YouTube. Was 65,000. Wooz News, WOOZ News, his most recently uploaded video about the Capitol riot execution. He refers to Ashley Babbitt as the rabbit. He does a highly entertaining look at close footage of what went on there. I did find it very suspect from the get-go. I remember seeing, the medic who never took his backpack off, never opened it. I've got basic medical skills. I actually brought my daughter stopped completely breathing, and I had to give her mouth-to-mouth resuscitation and do chest compressions, and brought her, revived her. Just the basic tip the head back, check, what's going on. This particular shot to the neck, even though we've got, the main artery there, no blood, but you would have put pressure immediately on the wound. None of these things happened for her. There was a lot of concern about fixing her necktie and moving her backpack, which happened to be very, very full of whatever, we'll never know. So when she takes that plunge back, she has that to break her fall. Things to question. We now know that questioning anything other than what they've told us, they meaning the state, the propaganda from the state, is considered conspiracy theory, and I'm guessing domestic terrorism. We've got a MSNBC primetime anchor, don't recall her name, asking the question, should we be bringing the drones out and killing? She uses the word killing because Obama, remember, did kill an American for, and it's actually inaccurate, for inciting violence. All right, remember when that American was killed by Obama? She said, we got precedents here, so maybe we should consider killing. She says it, I believe, 3 times. Anyone, domestic terrorists, who are anyone now who's voted for Trump or is white, questions anything. So we're going to bring out the drones and what, just pick us all off? Well, of course this is, that would be, but are they, one does need to ask. Now we have a public calling out for our murder from our government. How does that make, what's next? We have the firing squad that Trump brought in, and I thought that was a really bad idea. And it's still in there for Biden to use, and public hangings still there for Biden to use. Are they going to, I think, whose lives I think are really in danger from the state of being publicly executed would be Roger Stone and Alex Jones. Alex Jones apparently contributed, amongst others, $100,000 for the stage for the event. He stopped the STAL. That man who started that, a black man, he's in hiding. He's you're not allowed to even say those words anymore. That hashtag has been completely removed. So it should have been stop the fortification, because Time magazine came out and said via shadow, let's see, what was the word they used? Well, shadow governments, shadow corporations, a plan that was implemented a year before, they fortified and saved democracy with the election. So we should all be thanking them, because us, us plebeian serfs, us peasants, we would have voted in Donald Trump, and they saved our country by, fortifying the election via all these methods that are clearly out there. Mike Lindell yesterday put out his documentary. You can find it on Vimeo and Rumble and on his website. There's some of people who are uploading it on Gab. So it's almost a 3-hour, lot of the things that he was showing I've already seen. For everyone who saw in Georgia, our Ruby, who with our own eyes saw the ballots go through the machine. She took them out, stacked them, put them through once, put them through twice. We saw this. But that's the propaganda from the state is saying that's debunked. That's not true. It's again, I am not picking up a cup of coffee. They're going to tell you what truth is. This is completely 1984. 2 plus 2 is 5. Because why? Because the state says so. And you will believe what we tell you to believe, irregardless of what you know to be truth. And if you don't say it's 5, we will kill you. We will torture you. We will deplatform you. We will take everything from you. We are in a fascist state. We are under China. I believe it's a Chinese coup. I think China's actually running the what's going on here. However, I did see a video that someone sent to me of Obama saying that he could run a third term by having an earpiece put in someone who was elected, and he would just I think he said, I'll just be sitting in a basement somewhere, and I'll just be speaking, and that person will just be saying what I say. And he goes, I could have a third term this way. We've heard many newscasters accidentally say President Obama, and then they're calling him Biden, the Biden administration. So do these people know that it's really Obama who's running the show and not Biden? Do they all know it? Certainly seems. And then the newscaster who came out and said, Obama did kill that American via a drone, and it was legal, and nobody pressed back for inciting violence, which is not why. Is that why we killed an American? Because he incited violence? And she's saying, can't we drone strike, all these other inciters of violence from, January 6th? My guess is, and this is brutal, is we're going to see public executions from the state against anyone who voted for Trump, who was the poor people who went to Washington thinking they were supporting their president, thinking they were doing something patriotic, a social event. So many people like this went there, that now are looking at losing their physical life, their bank account. Bank of America, without a warrant, of complete violation of the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution, handed over all the bank records of anyone who pinged with their tracking device, or if they purchased a hotel in Washington, D.C., or purchased a muffin from a coffee shop in Washington, D.C., they're handing all of those records over to Homeland Security for domestic terrorism. And we know that the laws are all different. They're absolutely frightening. They can decide to pull you out of your house with no warrant, no nothing, indefinitely detain you, and you're gone. You could go. President Trump did expand and keep Gitmo. We need to start asking about who really is Trump. All right. He set all this up. He didn't fight back for us. I'm sorry. Was it a charade? Part of, was it all, feels like a charade to me. I would say that we got onto a ship with a captain who we really trusted, and, he was leading the way, and then he crashes into an iceberg, and we're all going to sink. And he gets off on his helicopter and he says, this is quote, "Have a nice life. Bye." And any of the survivors, the captain, he's safe away and doesn't even bother to say, "Hey man, I'm sorry," or nothing. Trump's just missing in action. So I will refuse to be blinded by anything, including, they are claiming that we worship Trump. No, we didn't worship Trump. we wanted a president who had America's interest at heart and who was going to listen to the people. And we loved him because we felt that he was listening to the people. Myself personally, I need EpiPens. They did go to $500. And when he lowered the EpiPen cost to, I think it was going to be $8, but Biden overturned that. Because I'm sorry, 500, but because you need the EpiPen. Clinton was behind that, or you die. Same thing with insulin. So it's kind of like, ha, 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 let's, they got to buy it. Got to buy it. They die if they didn't. The fuck, we can charge whatever we want. Let's do it. And Trump said no. And Biden said, curiously, one of the main, I don't know who it was. I should really have the details better, but someone involved in that committed suicide by beating themselves to death. The deaths are just rampant. If this was a movie, well, that we were viewing via, a monitor, it'd be very difficult to follow, and it would be unbelievable. And all the murders and all the twists and all of it would just be, it would never work because no one could keep track of the plot line. It's so intricate. That's what's going on here. And that would brings me back to the 16+1. All of the, and I never engaged in this. Did I read boards? Yes. Is that going to be considered an offense? Possibly, once they get everybody else out. Yeah, I read it. And I think there's, this is my nature. I've read a lot about Satanism. I've read a lot of Madame Blavatsky, Aleister Crowley. Yes, I've read their books because I can't be fully educated and make informed decision without knowing Buddhism, the Greek philosophy. That's how you get all this information, and then you're able to discern and critically think and make your own formulations of what's really going on here. So when I saw the 16+1, of course I looked at that, and I saw immediately that elements of truth, and then some whacked out weirdness. I was personally attacked viciously, which made me step way back because I said this plan sucks. But there was a lot of people on there who were calling for the public execution, firing squad, and death to a lot of people. And that I knew was wrong. Was it, and they're vehement. We have to ask, were those real people wanting that? Because I think there's going to be some kind of a cruel twist here that they're coming after you. You will be looking at the public execution and the firing squad. We have a news station, prime time, saying, well, can't we just use the drones and kill these Trump people and be done with it? Paraphrased, for entertainment purposes only. They're going to they'll be creating profiles on every Trump supporter because their charge cards, what books you buy, what food you buy. Meat eaters tend to be Trump supporters. Vegans aren't. They know our buying habits. They know that people who purchase food like this tend to be of this ideology. They've got it all. I mean, I've always been saying for years, because I am such a book reader, that there was going to be a profile built on me based on the books that I buy from Barnes & Noble with the membership, because we all are so easily bought, aren't we? Myself included. I saved 10%, woo, and now they can pull that book, that Amazon. Think about Amazon. And I just recently, so I'm not a covert, threat, but eventually what happens is they run out of people to attack, and they that's their food, that's their diet. They need to, what are they going to do? So they want Alex Jones, and they're going to all the conservative media on Twitter. I got banned off Twitter twice now, and I don't. The last banning, I unliked Joe Biden's page after repeatedly having it put liked, unliked, liked, and he was always at the top of my feed, and I didn't want to look at his face, and that's the only thing I did that day, and I was logged out permanently. So, and I'm like, fine, and it's better, but taking down, they're going all the way down, and now they're attacking Jimmy Dore, who is really a centrist and progressive. So, after they clean out all the conservatives, and there'll be all the progressives and and now they're coming after Bernie Sanders, because Bernie Sanders said, we can't do $15 an hour right now because it will KILL businesses. It needs to be a progressive increase. Hello. And, and we can't do it during the pandemic. They're all the vicious hate of the left. Bernie, the hatred, it's their diet, it's their, and when they run out, and this is how these things are perpetrated. So now, and they will come after your own, and we've all said this. How can we know that? Because, history, Nazi Germany being the most obvious. Really? I mean, most of us are, if we're white, we have European descent, right? Mm-hmm. We should know that history, but they're not teaching that in school. Critical race theory means be critical of everything. Someone explained it yesterday. It's like, that's why they call it critical race. Be critical of the white race, because we founded our country, and we should be disdainfully. They're leaving out the religious persecution that happened in England. They're leaving out how all the Lutherans who read the Bible were being burned at the stake in England, and they came here to America. The Protestants, the Pilgrims, on that East Coast. That's what really happened here. They're leaving that all out, because and instead they're going straight to slave owners and the what are they calling it? Not capitalism, colonization. Heaven forbid we colonize, which basically means made cities and made cities that functioned as a city with mail and food, and that's colonizing. And then they would go to another place that was empty, and they move their people there. That's evil colonization, and we should all be ashamed of essentially everything that America is. So you tell me, what is our prototype? Well, what should we be aspiring to? What country? Oh, no country. We need to have a global colonization. That's better. Let's just colonize the whole globe under one dictatorship. And that's what the proposal is. Right? Isn't it? We will bring, except for them. I mean, they're also letting everybody know that. They are the rulers. Kerry defended him using the private jet to go to, because of who he is and his importance and his safety. Because of the crazy people, the insurrectionists and terrorists who are going to want to KILL him, apparently. Therefore, he needs a private airplane and special security with armed guards against you. He doesn't have to wear a mask. They don't have to wear masks against you. You wear the mask. So, very sad. Stunning, frankly. Never thought in my lifetime I'd see anything this horrible, this nightmare, this dystopian nightmare we're living in like that, how this happened. I look at my Facebook feed and all the beautiful things that I've done in my life. Like last year, my husband and I were in Florida, and we were having a beer, and It's all gone. It's all gone. Everybody's wearing their 2 masks and a shield, and now they're getting their gloves on. They're crazy. I mean, the fear that the adrenaline of fear, so they feel alive. I mean, I'm sorry that I just do not understand it. Now, if people were dropping dead in the streets, and Florida should be a cesspool of death. North Dakota should be a cesspool of death, right? They've got a different protocol, which means they're open and they're letting nature run its course, which is, and now everyone's going to be terrified of catching a cold. Really? That's how we're going to live? Everyone's going to be terrified of getting the flu. Terrified. And there's never been any talk from any politician or health professional, Dr. Fauci, about our God-given immune system. Our immune system. Yeah. There's different systems. And that has been devised that when it's strong and healthy, with even exposure to the virus, it would be able to fight it off. That is how a vaccine works. Incidentally, it's your immune system that is being built by getting the virus in you. But you could also have the same effect of a vaccine by being slowly exposed. Go to the grocery store, somebody did spit on the handrail, and you put your hand in your mouth, and you got a very small viral load into your mouth, and your immune system's going to take over. Unless your immune system is so depleted, I'd question why you'd be shopping in a grocery store. But there's people who, it'd be like someone maybe with leukemia or aplastic anemia. These are diseases that your immune system is havocked, like AIDS, right? They have no resistance. Their immune system is destroyed. Then they don't have that ability. So that's what the herd immunity is, too. Small doses. Okay, so over and out.